line for line is really where you need to be. A platform that's really made for folks like you and me. You can find it all no matter what you seek. Whether you calling or you listening, tune in every week. Line for line. Oh yeah, I'm going line for line.
And just like that, we're back in another episode of Line for Line. I have two very special women in the building today. I'll let you ladies go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I'm Susan Martin.
And I'm Jessica Lewandowski.
Yes, and we are here to speak on the profession that you ladies are the masters of. Can we tell the people a little bit about the profession that we are in today?
We're Reiki practitioners.
And for those at home, what is Reiki?
So Reiki is basically universal life force energy. And we as professionals are conduits for that energy.
Anything you want to add to that, Susan?
What would you like your viewers to know?
How did you get started into Reiki?
A friend of mine said she had learned Reiki when she went to Arizona. There's regular schools that you go to and teachers that teach Reiki. And she said I should take one of the classes, and I did, and I really liked it.
What were you thinking going into it?
I was pretty open. I really didn't know much about it. I knew it was kind of like a healing modality. And I've wanted to help people. So I think that's why I was interested in Reiki. And it kind of opened the door to a lot of different, if you want to say metaphysical options working with energy or the energy of the body. Your body has an energy system, just like it has a digestive system, a nervous system, circulatory system. And when that energy system gets blocked, and it can be blocked by trauma, disease, that's when you get sick or you don't feel well. And so you want to keep that flow moving. And that's what Reiki does, is try to remove some of those blocks and keep that flow moving.
And how about you? Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I ate some of her popcorn. Now like the kernel stuck in my throat. Sorry about that. I'm so sorry.
It's totally cool. So for me, a friend actually recommended us take a class. And at the time, it was taught at WCTC. So we decided to take a class. I feel like I was divinely led into this profession. And it's really opened the door for me to explore different modalities and things as well.
Now, what are some things that a new client should expect going into a session with the two of you?
Well, you're fully clothed. You don't have to get undressed. You lie on a table. We utilize light touch. If you prefer not to have any touch, we don't have to do that. And basically, it's relaxing. You lie there, and we just do our thing. Feel the energy. Some people don't feel anything at all. People go to sleep. The Reiki energy still is flowing through your body.
Yeah, and I think what makes us unique is we really combine not only Reiki, but our intuition as well. So a lot of times we're picking up things as we go, and we actually do readings for folks even before they get into our door, basically, which is nice.
See, that was going to be my next question. What is the little bit of the engagement between you and your client while the session is going on?
Well, it really can vary. What were you going to answer for that? Do you remember?
So I think every client is unique and different. And so every session might move a little differently. But typically when somebody comes to see us, we actually have something prepared for them already. So we kind of go through that with them, whatever it would be. And then we do our Reiki session, and we often end with just talking about the session. If there's anything that was experienced, a lot of times people will release something, which is just phenomenal to see. When people can kind of get rid of those blocks and just feel a little bit more like they're breathing easier.
And some people, and I found that if they have people have different levels of awareness, different belief systems. So someone where it's their first time like on a Reiki table, but they haven't had any education or been exposed to mediumship and different other types of energy. They may seem like they experience very little. They'll get the relaxation and things. But somebody who already has an awareness, they could have information come in. People see colors. It's really varies depending on who's on the table.
It definitely felt like a journey when I got to go to you two and experience it for the first time. I was very indifferent going first because at first I was scared. I was like, what if I don't like feel anything or say anything? I don't want them to think something's wrong with me or it's not working maybe, or I overthink everything. So going into it, that's what I thought. But I actually enjoyed myself. I definitely would recommend it to the viewers. And I definitely would like to go back as well too. It was just different, like just being able to experience, and that in the path that I'm on right now, I'm open to experiencing new things and just learning more about other people's professions and what they can offer to the world as well too. Because who's to say that this can't possibly save someone's life? Just gives them that peace of mind that they've been like on the quest for, So I definitely would recommend it, and I definitely would be another customer as well too, a first-time customer. So yeah, you guys didn't lose me, so you definitely hear from me.
We did want to say that Reiki and energy work never replaces medical attention. So it's just like, what would you call it?
Well, I would say that it's
they work
together very well. So we never claim to heal anybody per se, but we hope to just give people other options that maybe medical attention just isn't treating. This might be another option for people to look at.
Yeah. So I noticed that you do offer light touching or no touching. What would you say the benefits are, or what would you say the pros and cons are to the two of not touching or light touching?
It's more of a connection thing, I guess. And it's really on the person's comfort zone of if they want to be touched or they don't want to be touched. The Reiki still works if you don't touch them, but I don't know. Exactly.
Yeah, there's just some things that we have to.
I would say it's personal preference, not only for your client, but for the practitioner as well. Some practitioners are completely hands off. And it's nice to have that option if your client is new and maybe is like not okay with touch, that's okay. Like Susan said, the Reiki works either way.
And sometimes, if the energy is really, really strong or you feel a lot of heat, you might want to back off. You don't want to make the person on the table feel uncomfortable. So I've had that happen where, it's a lot of heat and it's like, I better back off and just.
Yes, ma'am. Now, how long does a typical session usually last? From, let's say it's the person's first time meeting with you guys. How long does that usually last, setting it up and everything like that?
Yeah, so typically I do sessions in 30 minutes or 60-minute increments. But since we've been working together and incorporating readings into that, they definitely last about 60 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I only book 60 minutes.
Yeah.
That is so cool. What's the most common feedback that the two of you hear from your clients?
Well, people are kind of like, wow, or in awe. They'll feel very relaxed, and it's really individualized. And whether it's a first visit or maybe a third visit, a first visit, that's what they get. They feel relaxed, and typically we say maybe you'll feel lighter as your week goes on for a few days, like you're walking and you just feel lighter. If it's third or fourth visit, it might be more intense. They might have some emotion that they're releasing, which is what I hope for, because when they do release, that creates a space.
Oh, wow.
And for me, I ask for white light to come in. So that's
so cool. You guys are like taking me back to my first experience, and now I'm just like, I need that experience again as well too. I'm like craving it as well too. How about you? What would you say your answer to that? Like, what's your most common feedback that you hear?
Oh my gosh, I would agree with Susan. I think it's very personalized to each client that's on the table. A lot of times, like Susan said, you might get that, oh my gosh, like I actually felt something.
Yeah.
Like they didn't expect to feel anything. And they come in and they're like, wow, like I feel better. Or maybe I can't explain why I feel different, but I just feel different.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have clients that may process things days down the line. So, like I say, it just depends on each client and what they're going through.
Yeah.
My goal is always just to make people feel like they're unconditionally loved in that space. No matter what you're going through, no matter what you've done in your past, it doesn't matter when you're in that space.
Yes. That's
when
totally. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut
I
you
was
off. Go
gonna
ahead.
say, and you have what's called chakras, which are energy centers. And when they get out of line or they're blocked is when you don't feel well. So when you have a Reiki session and we try to align that energy back up, you're just feeling better.
Yeah.
You can't explain it.
That was totally me. Like I left out of there just feeling different. I had a different outlook the next morning when I woke up. I just felt more free and clear, if that makes sense.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I just literally just woke up and I was thinking on a different level, and I was just looking forward to so much more, and what was so crazy was that you guys were saying stuff that was really like prevalent in my daily life, in my past, like my current life. I was just like, how do they know this? Yes, I was like, I was very impressed with the two of you ladies' skills. So like I said, I'm gonna recommend to everyone to at least try it. Maybe you won't like it, but at least try it. Seriously.
Have you ever had anybody that didn't like it?
No.
I've never had anybody that didn't like it.
No.
But I will say not everybody is ready to try energy work, and that's okay too if that's not where you're at right now.
Yeah.
But if you're at all interested, that's definitely something to explore for sure.
How would those viewers go about getting a hold of you and setting up their own Reiki sessions?
So definitely you can check out my website, which is www.healingfaithreiki.com. I'm also on Facebook as well. I offer a lot of freebies on there for anybody who's interested. And we're going to be doing more donation-based sessions for folks that maybe just want to try it, but not really sure if they want to pay for a session. That's great for them as well. So we're really excited to be able to offer that to people.
Yeah, and where are you guys located for those listening at home?
We are located in Walworth County. So it's a little bit of a hike from Kenosha Racine, but not too bad, I promise.
It was easy for me. I literally got on the highway for 2 seconds, got off the highway, took a back road the whole way there. So the drive is very easy and very comfortable for you guys at home. Have either one of you ever had a Reiki session done and you were on the receiving end of it?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, wow. So what was that like?
We work on each other.
Oh, nice.
Work on each other, sure.
Oh, most definitely.
Well,
let's talk about your first time.
My very first Reiki session.
Yes.
It was, I saw a few angels and things like that, so I was really shocked.
Oh, wow.
It's very healing. Most of the other, like we go to Reiki shares, and you work on each other. Like if you have an ache or a pain or something, and everybody will do Reiki on you, and that'll go away, and you'll feel better.
Nice. How about you, young lady?
So for me, my first experience was in the class. We did a lot of hands-on work with other students and everything. And I just remember seeing colors when I was laying there and people were working on me.
What type of colors?
Oh my gosh, lots of blues and purples and things like that. So that was really cool. And I was like, all right, there's something about this, right? I just couldn't put my finger on it exactly. But the more you do it, the more you experience. And it's just been phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, the chakras that we talked about, they each have a color. And you have an aura, which is like so many inches out of your body. And that carries colors. And some people, I'm not able to see colors.
Yeah.
She saw colors. A lot of people read auras and see colors. There's so many different things out there. I'm not one that can do that, but that is where colors
come from,
the chakras.
Now tell us a little bit more about the reading cards that you have to offer as well too. Those were the ones that got me. Because once you sent me mine, I was just like, how are they able to just relate to me and all this? I was wondering, like, how are they so good?
Well, I don't know. It's not us. The card thing just what?
So we read Oracle and Angel cards. And for us, I'm thinking about the person that I'm reading for as I'm going through my cards. And if one falls out, I'm like, all right, put that aside. Another one falls out. Okay. Another one falls out. And then you just read the cards. It's not, like Susan said, it's not us doing anything. This is all divinely orchestrated, which
That's
is
so
just
crazy.
And anybody can do this.
Yeah.
It's not anything special that we have, but
there's classes, workshops in energy work everywhere. People just don't know to look. Like I had never heard of Reiki, didn't know there was any such thing.
Yeah.
Now it's like everywhere, very prevalent. You just take regular classes on whatever you want to learn.
Yeah, and that's why this podcast is an informative podcast to find those services that are out there that people may think about that they may not necessarily know the route to go to find it. And that's what I want to be. I want to be that everyday guy that I wouldn't say solves for people, but just finds information and services for people and bring it to the public. That's what I want to do. Now, as we get ready to close out, what would be the number one thing that you would say people should take away from the session, like once it's complete?
Work in the energy field is real, and it can affect and better your life.
Yeah, definitely changed my life. I'll tell you that much.
And that was one
Seriously.
little piece.
Yeah, that's just the start of something great.
Most definitely. It's definitely opened my eyes to what's available.
Yeah. What about you, young lady? What would you like to add on to that?
Oh my gosh. Just to let people know that they're divinely loved, that you're not alone, that there's more than Western medicine, that
trying to get me to cry again. We're loved, we're not alone. I don't want to cry again.
It's all good. That means you're releasing, right?
We're happy to make people cry.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Now, is there anyone special out there that you guys would like to shout out and say hello to or anything like that?
Like our families?
Sure. Or whoever, maybe people who have just kept you motivated, kept you going in life, whatever the case may be.
I'd say my family, most definitely. They're my number one supporters.
There you go.
And my daughter, Julia.
Oh, for believing in you.
It's really awesome because she's level 2 Reiki trained as well.
No way.
So, yeah, she's kind of following in my footsteps a little bit, but it's so cool to see her really just grow.
Yeah. I have my little one who's going to be the next to man the podcast as well, too. You're taking over for me, right, Lane?
Oh, yeah.
Well, with that being said, ladies, we just wrapped up another amazing episode of Line for Line. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
Or for having me, excuse me.
You calling or you listening, tune in every week. Line for line. Oh yeah, I'm going line for line.